Welcome back to Taste Good TV. It's your host, Double O Savage. Back here today at La Joya Cafe. Me and the good folks at La Joya Cafe are working on a little collaboration. So I shot them some ideas a few weeks back. We've been going back and forth, and now today we're going to try a couple of different variations with them adding their own little signature touches to it. And it's going to be a part of a special menu item, and it'll run for a little bit. And if it does good, they'll keep it on as a secret menu item. So y'all make sure y'all come out and support, try it, and give them your feedback. But other than that, we're going to go inside. We're going to let Carlos let y'all know a little bit more about everything that's going on, the special item, how long it's running for, and all that stuff. I'm just honored, man. So let's go inside, y'all. Your boy tired as hell. I know you see by the Rocky Balboa eyes, this is like round 12 right here. Carlos hooked me up some of that good coffee, though. Let's put the coffee down. Let's get to what we're really here for. Once again, super honored. But Carlos, you mind letting people know what we're doing here today?
Yeah, so we're gonna be introducing a new plate. It's called Migas Tacos. Basically, kind of like a breakfast version of a taco plate. We're gonna have two options: chorizo and egg, and veggie and egg. So yeah, we should get started.
I told the people a little bit, Carlos. I was a little excited. I told them, we collaborated on a little bit, something cool and stuff like that today.
Yeah, no, definitely. All right.
You cooking?
Yeah, I'm gonna be the one cooking. Yeah. So.
Blood, we gotta go. We gotta go.
I'm unwrapping some tortillas, some handmade tortillas that are cooked, left us. They're pre-started, and then I'm gonna finish them off. Just kind of usually when the restaurant's open, we make them at the moment on hand. But I'm not the greatest tortilla maker, so I had her prep a few before. What do you call it? She left.
So y'all hear that, right? They don't be having no stale sitting around tortillas. It's always fresh on the spot.
Always fresh. The thing about the Migas Tacos, the thing about that, it's originally kind of considered a struggle meal. For the most part, it's one of those meals that you make when you are trying to extend ingredients. The chips inside of it obviously add some carbs. They add some weight to whatever meat or whatever you meat or egg that you have. Typically, again, it's chorizo and egg. But yeah, no, it's actually, you know how it goes with most things that end up at first become kind of struggle meals. They end up becoming comfort meals for a lot of people. So this is kind of in that same sense that as they've been experimented on and tried, and over the years they become kind of like a popular breakfast dish.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Like I was telling the folks earlier before we came in here that we were going back and forth, and I was like, what would complement y'all sauces, right? Because I really wanted to highlight your red and green sauces.
Yep.
And then I remember reaching out to you, was like, hey, I fell in love with these little tacos in Austin, Texas called the Migas Tacos, and I felt like that would be a good compliment. And Carlos was like, you know what? That's cool. Let's do that. We're gonna let the folks here at La Joya put their own little signature touches to it, and we're gonna spin it because we can't just roll out and just throw out Migas Tacos and just be there. We got to make sure they put their signature touches on it. So today we're gonna see what's cracking. I just didn't know that Carlos was cooking though.
Yeah, I'm the one cooking today. And again, so for us, our idea is, obviously our special is going to be the chilaquiles. Same thing, we're going to be using those chips that we use for the chilaquiles. They're right there. The difference between those chips and, for example, like our tortilla chips are cooked a little less. They're a little less crispy and, whiter. If you can tell, these ones are a little browner. They're a little more dense. Same reason they absorb the salsa, so that way they keep a little crunchier. And I'm assuming in this case it's going to play a similar role where the fat from the chorizo and the egg they would make it kind of soggy. So I think the chilaquila chips are going to be a better. Yeah, no, the chorizo's made. If you guys can tell, we had it in the bag because we make it in house, so it's always nice and fresh. I'll go ahead and add some of the chips to there, add some water to bring that down.
For the secret menu item, Carlos, are we planning on doing like a meat version and a vegetarian offering, right?
Yeah. Like I said, I'll start with the chorizo version. Have you guys try that one? See how that one goes down, and then we'll try the veggie version afterwards. Chips are absorbing a lot of that grease and fat. That's really what's going to give that flavor. That'll help soften those chips up a little bit, and then once we add the egg, it's definitely going to be on the softer side. So let's add the egg. Cool. Cool. I think I might have gotten a little. No, I didn't. Mix that all up. Give it a nice little. Make those chips up a little bit. And you can see those chips are definitely going to have a different flavor from just, you know, being regular, yeah, regular tortilla chips sitting on top. Like I said, we'll let them sog up a little bit, get that in there. Meanwhile, we'll heat up our tortillas. On this one over here. Bring this one over here.
Yeah. So basically, the plan is the order will be like 3 tacos per order, and you can, you know, make it a meal by adding rice and beans to it for additional cost. But we'll go through all that a little bit later. Just want to make sure that y'all do that while the pan is heating up right now. Starting to take form right now.
Yeah, you see that starting to get a little bit, what do you call it? Those things flavors are starting to blend together. They'll have a nice little.
What do you think about like onions and stuff like that?
Definitely, I mean, we'll top it off with whatever you guys want. I'm thinking to get topped off, chorizo and eggs. Usually we'll get a little bit of queso fresco and some sour cream. So I'm thinking sour cream, queso fresco, and a little bit of pickled red onion.
Yeah.
And then
pickled red onion.
Yep. And then our sauces will be kind of like the color. So I'm thinking maybe the green sauce, put the green sauce, a little bit of the red sauce, so you know, mix in with that, and that green sauce will give that nice touch of like green to kind of highlight that salt cream notes out.
Y'all know we're addicted to that green sauce. I'll help you out here, Carlos.
All right, appreciate that.
All right, y'all. So I'm pretending. Break the tortilla up a little bit here, a little bit more. That way we're gonna top it a little bit better. Flip it over here. Ooh, you boy spend a whole day in the kitchen, man. See, I would touch that, right? But you know, I don't want to scream like a bitch when it's my food. Should I?
Oh, you did that.
Flipping the tortillas?
Yeah.
Yep. Got it.
See, I didn't even scream like a bitch. It wasn't hot yet. See, it wasn't hot yet. I ain't gonna lie. You don't want to break them up too much, guys.
Yeah, you still want to have some texture there.
I just like to see one of those pieces. I'll do that.
Yep. Got you. Here, I'm gonna start taking these off soon. These are almost done. I'll take this one off, let it sit for a while.
Is chorizo the most popular breakfast meat you guys have here, or do people go more for bacon?
Bacon and sausage. Bacon and sausage.
Sausage.
Yeah, I would say those are easily the two more popular. The chorizo is going to be an easy third, but bacon and sausage by far are going to be the most commonly picked choices. Sorry, go ahead.
I was gonna say for the migas that I noticed what tastes the best is chorizo or bacon.
Yep.
But then I noticed with the bacon though, it tastes a lot better when the bacons are put in as strips in the taco rather than broken down.
Broken down into little pieces. No, definitely. I think bacon's weird because it's mostly fat and then like that little bit of meat. So you can't break it down too much or else you're just gonna be basically biting.
It tastes the same texture.
Yeah. It's not the same, and like you said here, there's a big reason in terms of like not breaking down the chips because at the end of the day that plays a big part into like the enjoyment of a meal. So I'll take those tortillas
That's the proper way, guys, with gloves.
Barehanded it.
It's all good. They're for us, right?
Yeah. As long as he don't touch it. My nephew don't wash his hands after he goes to the bathroom.
Cap. Yes, I do.
You don't wash his hands after you for A, B, or C.
You lying.
Don't ask me what C is.
You lying.
Only my nephew does C.
Alright, so put some on there. Add a little bit. Gotta get a good ratio of chip to. I'm not the best plater in the world. I'm here for the flavors, not.
Yep.
It gets on there.
It gets on there. That's all that matters. All right, let's switch that off.
Y'all, please understand though, it's gonna be a lot better when it's finally on the menu.
Yep.
This is just behind the scenes.
We're playing around a little bit.
Yeah.
Making sure, trying things out. I'll put a little bit more on there. You guys want to follow me on this side? I'm gonna plate them.
That's my kind of taco though.
What are you typing with here?
Cool. So, sour cream first. Alright. Switch that out later. A little bit of cheese. Queso fresco. Nice and dressed. Pickled red onion. Alright, and then follow me. We'll go out there. Let me wipe this down on the edges, just for appearance. See? Alright, and we'll pass this over here. I'll put some sauces on there. Alright.
I think they look like they should be called Tasty Migas.
Tasty Migas? Perfect. Perfect. Alright, guys. Give them a try.
Hold on, you too?
You gotta.
Oh, yeah. Here, I'll pass you guys some plates.
I mean, if I'm gonna die, you gonna die too.
We're all in it together. Right?
Yep. This is the initiation of Blood Brothers right here. All right, nephew, go ahead and take it.
Thank you again, Carlos.
Of course, thank you guys. Appreciate the patience.
Of course.
Oh, no worries.
You gotta see the process.
Thank you. Appreciate that.
So let's do the inspection here first. Definitely look good.
Yep. They got some good weight to them. I don't know if you noticed.
Yeah.
That's what I mean. Yeah, it adds a nice little heftiness to. We used a couple of eggs
Yeah.
and still had some chorizo and egg left over.
Y'all
So
see that, right? Cheers.
cheers. All right, guys. Enjoy.
Mm.
Yeah, let me not hold off on you guys. This is what you came for.
Mm-hmm. This is the spot.
Yep. You know, like I said, I'm not the best plater, so I was a little doubtful. I'm not gonna lie when I saw it.
Right.
The flavors are all there. I think, like you said, once we get that plate presentation down, that's definitely a winner.
I like this. I think the only thing that I may like more, but might be preference though. I like more onions. More onions.
More onions on that one?
Or maybe even chopped onions cooked with the eggs. And then eliminate the pickle.
Yeah.
Not that I don't like it, but I think we need more onions.
A little stronger, right? I think the
Yeah.
pickled ones are a little light on that flavor. I think top it off with
Onions.
instead of maybe even instead of doing that, we could do pico de gallo. We'll try that one on the next version, see how that one is, because that one will have the onions, the tomato, and the cilantro, a little bit of lime juice, so it'll still have some acidity, but it's nice and fresh with the onion, so it might be a nice little mix.
I like this when it falls out like this.
It's got a nice little crunch to it too.
Dude, when it falls out, it tastes like you're eating chilaquiles. So, if you got enough money to just buy one meal, you actually feel like eating two. Just let the shit fall out. No, this is good.
Here, I'm gonna let you guys finish that one up. I'm gonna go through the same process, same thing, just kind of heating that up. I don't know if you guys want to get footage of like the veggies, but Let me heat up the tortillas real quick. That takes a little longer.
I'd probably jump in there and get the little footage.
Yeah.
I'm definitely scared. Carlos might put some Diddy juice in there. Doors is locked.
Doors are locked. The lights turned off all up back there.
Hey, like Diddy said,
Same process again, Carlos.
Yep. Just heating up some tortillas.
Mm-hmm.
I'll throw some a little bit of oil on this pan.
So what's different with this one?
This one. So last time we used chorizo. Obviously, we want to try and offer vegetarian options for the people that
Don't eat meat.
So
Yeah.
So, our solution with a lot of our plates, we offered grilled veggies instead of meat as an option. We also offer avocado, but avocado being fresher, and in this case, doesn't have the oil to it.
Yeah, exactly.
We gotta use switch it up. Let me find some.
What kind of veggies do you guys throw in there?
It's gonna be bell peppers, onions, and mushrooms.
Okay, nice.
I think 3 of those will be good.
Yeah.
Nice meal, yeah, especially with rice and beans. That's gonna be nice and filling.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, actually,
Imagine all the chips and stuff that fall out. You scoop with your rice and beans after.
Mm-hmm.
it's impossible to overcook mushrooms, so we throw the mushrooms in first. That's gonna be the basis of all of our like vegetable sautés. So whenever you guys get grilled vegetables or something, the onions are gonna go in there. We try and use peppers. Sometimes, depending on the customer, they like it spicy, so we'll switch this to jalapenos.
Oh.
But for most people,
Regular peppers.
regular peppers, yeah, you know, you can't assume everyone's gonna be eating spicy.
Yeah.
So
Yeah. Fair.
yeah, we use regular peppers. This is actually like the mix that makes up our steak sandwich. So for when you get the steak sandwich, it's gonna be similar to like a Philly cheesesteak, peppers, onions, the steak, and some cheese. That right there makes it a nice solution for folks that don't want to eat some meat and still keep a lot of that flavor. I think the biggest problem is a lot of places they try and substitute protein with like beans.
Mm-hmm.
But I mean, vegetables themselves are wonderful, and especially if you go to like Mexico, the people who don't want to eat meat, they'll eat cactus. So cactus is a big vegetable, and just in general, I think people kind of underplay the importance of veggies in Mexican cuisine. I know the meats and the proteins tend to take a lot of the light. So you know, like al pastor, carnitas, and the whole situation. But I mean, to me, what makes a difference in Mexican cuisine is going to be the veggies. You look at salsa; it's literally just tomatoes, some chilies, and stuff like that. That's really what gives it. You know, the pickled red onions, the pico de gallo. A taco without any of those is a bit simple. So in this case, same thing. Give them a nice little color. Our tortillas are basically ready. I'll leave those there just so they can stay warm. It's already starting to smell good.
Yeah, it does.
So whenever somebody asks for something like a spicy option, you guys just chop up some jalapenos or something?
Yeah, we'll replace the peppers with like a jalapeno in this case. If you guys want, I can throw one in there just to kind of showcase.
Yeah.
A couple colors. Gotcha.
Smells
Oh
good.
shit. Oh.
Appreciate that.
Smells good already. He just saved the eggs.
The runaway egg.
Man.
Like, you're not getting me.
Man.
But I always learned that too. Like when you're cooking,
Mm.
you want, like, even though you're just eating food, but if you're worried about presentation, your food needs to have at least 3 colors in it.
Yep. A red, green, and then something to bring it together.
Yeah.
I think that's enough.
Oh yeah.
I think for a meat lover,
Yeah.
you need the jalapenos to occupy you.
Yep.
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah, no, I'm definitely going the jalapenos. If I'm given the option, I'm going the jalapenos all the way.
Mm-hmm.
I recommend them all the time.
You guys got the hot jalapenos too, or is there like a hit or miss type?
It's one of those things where it's hit or miss. You know, we can't really control
Yeah.
the what do you call it? The spiciness on them. Same thing with our salsa. Same, you know, we say the green one tends to be the spicier one, but you never know. Sometimes the red one comes out a little spicier than the other ones. All right. So here you can see we kind of got all that mixed up. I'm gonna add a little bit of oil just to kind of replace the oil from the chorizo in there. The good thing about the onions is same thing. Onions are nice and absorbent, so they're gonna help give that same kind of bite that you would get from the chorizo.
Yeah.
It's actually funny. We're more commonly related to mushrooms than they are to plants.
Huh.
So plants are closer in relation to us than plants. So same thing in a lot of veggie dishes. Mushrooms play a great alternative. And like I said, they're impossible to overcook. So it's nice to just kind of leave them on there and let them sit.
Yeah, I've seen a lot of like vegan sellers using what kind of mushroom is that they use to mimic like chicken and all that stuff now?
Yeah,
Oh,
yeah,
I've
I know what
seen
you're
that.
talking about.
Yeah.
Was it lion's mane?
I think
That's what I was gonna
lion's
say,
mane,
but I
yeah.
didn't want to be wrong on that, so I was like, But yeah, I think you're right. I think you're right. Sorry, guys. I'm gonna reach behind you.
Yeah, I've seen a lot of those places.
Got the chips cooking in
I
there.
never tried it yet, though, but it does look like chicken on the outside.
Yeah, yeah. It's good. I mean, you know, mushrooms are personally mushrooms are one of my favorites. They give a nice little kick. All right. So I'm gonna add eggs. And then for these ones, to give them a similar color. Funny thing is, I was better one-handed than I did it with two hands. Than when I did it with two hands. Trick, if you want to grab the shell, just put water on your hand. I'm gonna just scoop that shit up. Alright. Trick, so for these ones, again, give them a similar color as the chorizo ones. I think a little bit of salsa in there, just for them, will give it that nice little spice that chorizo has. So let's start mixing that up, getting that all nice and wet, all those chips nice and soggy. Well, not soggy, but you know, so
Good enough, yeah.
A little bit of that sauce on top.
This vegetarian dish is pretty popular here.
Yeah, quite a bit. Our vegan rice bowl is one of the more popular things in terms of the non-meat options. They're gonna have, what do you call it? It's a pretty healthy plate.
Do you guys by chance offer maybe like a chorizo?
Chorizo? No, we don't, unfortunately. Yeah, our veggie options are avocado and then the mixed veggies. The chorizo is a little hard, just because we do kind of want, try and steer away from a lot of those. Like even our chorizo, we make it in house just because when you buy chorizo in the store, you get a lot of really processed meat. You don't know what it is. They use like the cheaper parts of the pork.
Yeah.
And so that way, we can at least control exactly what goes in our meat. I don't know if you noticed, but like our chorizo tends to be a little meatier and less kind of fat. I'll show you an example. So this is an example of our. Because every now and then, we do run out. So we do have like a store-bought like backup.
Yeah.
Kind of waiting in the back. If you can see, it breaks down a little bit more.
Yeah.
Whereas like the one that we had was like
stayed together.
Yeah, it was a big chunk. It's
Yeah.
it's ground beef mixed with the spices and stuff. So yeah, that's been kind of like our concern with the chorizo, just kind of finding a nice middle ground of that. All right.
Yeah, that looked good.
So there we go. Some veggies, some egg. Same thing with the chips. Nice consistency. They're nice and crunchy, but they're soft enough to chew through in the taco. I think in these ones, the color profile is a little less worrying because of that green.
Yeah, for sure.
Or again, when we have the bell peppers, we try and have a mix of them. I don't know if you guys noticed, but right now I only really had yellow and orange, so I used what I had. And look, 2 eggs, a couple veggies, and then you see how much that extends. That's kind of the main purpose of the migas, the chips inside there.
Yeah.
Gave people an opportunity, families, to to feed a group without having to worry about running out.
Yeah.
So that's good for us because I mean, food costs are a little safer on that one, and that's good for the folks because it gives them a different taste to try.
Have you guys been affected at all with the all the tariffs and?
No, I would say, the biggest thing for us being a breakfast was when the whole egg situation was going on.
Yeah.
And especially our breakfast burrito, our breakfast burrito is only $9. So, I mean, you think about that, it's cheaper than the carton. It was cheaper than the carton of eggs at one point.
Did you guys have to adjust prices or anything?
No, we were just really holding off, knowing that eventually it was going to fix itself. I think the biggest thing was not so much the fact that we weren't because our breakfast burrito has never been the item it's never the moneymaker, right? It's the thing that gets people kind of in the door, and then they look at the menu, they try the breakfast burrito, see it's really good, and then they have a craving for more stuff. So, we didn't really want to change that so that we didn't lose that, edge with the breakfast burrito. But, I mean, that was a big reason why we adjusted the prices of some other dishes. So some other dishes to kind of make up for the cost of eggs at that time was... we added $1 here. It's funny though when in a restaurant when the price of ingredients goes down on one item, the cost of ingredients goes up on another. So now that eggs are a reasonable price, meat is really really expensive.
Yeah.
Whereas when eggs were cheap, meat was actually cheaper than the eggs.
Right.
So
It's almost like money and gold.
Yep. Yeah, exactly. So you got to find you got to take some hits here and there, but at the end of the day, if it's not for the customers, then we can't really do much. So we always got to keep them in mind when we think about raising prices. All right, so this is going to be the vegetarian option. We'll add some sauces to it. Here you go, cheese, sour cream, and then the pico de gallo like we talked about.
Yeah.
Something a little fresher, some onions there. They'll have a little bit of jalapenos, even though we added some, and then the tomatoes, I think, will give them a nice little freshness to it. If you guys want to follow me. One thing we do always offer, I think folks may not be aware, if people want to add additional things on top or on the side, pickled red onions.
Right.
What do you call it? Pickled jalapenos. We have the jalapenos in the back. They're always feel free to ask us. One of my favorite things is actually the carrots in the pickled jalapenos.
Oh yeah.
So we always have those available for folks that they not may be aware. Here, let me add some of the salsa. And then let me add some bread. All right, and that would be a veggie version of the Migas Tacos, which would be like our breakfast taco. This actually looks a lot better than I was expecting. I'm not gonna lie. I think, I had an idea of what they would look like in mind, but I think now that I'm looking at it, this is definitely something that if I went and they offered me as a veggie option, I wouldn't be too upset with it. Just remember, guys, I'm not the cook, so whatever I offer, it'll be tenfold when my special cook is in the back. Thank you.
You guys
so
to
much.
understand that, okay? You guys are getting the fresh, raw look at everything, so it's gonna be a ton better when it's finalized. Cheers.
Cheers.
Let me show everybody back home what we got going on here. All right, nephew, you ready?
All right.
Ooh.
Mm-hmm.
I ain't gonna lie.
This is better.
It's up there with the meat.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, the jalapenos are a nice addition. The onions give it a nice.
Yes. I think that's what we were missing on the last one is the onions, right? Did we still want to put the salsa on the meat option one too?
I think putting the salsa on there, but like you said, adding some onions to there, and then the pico de gallo instead of the raw onions, I think would be a good touch.
I think so too.
It doesn't feel like it's missing anything, where like most veggie dishes do. And I think it's because of that egg. So, well, I love our chorizo. I think definitely kind of highlighting those flavors instead of relying on them is going to be a nice.
We think nephew.
I'm not one to like choose a vegetarian option for something. I like meat, but
Oh, we know you like meat, brother.
But yeah, this is good.
Like, would you know that there's meat options? Would you still second guess and maybe even want to just go with the vegetarian? Is it that good?
After trying it, yeah, I would.
Mm-hmm.
It's like really fresh.
Yeah, that's what I was gonna say. The other one, I know if I ate it,
You feel heavy afterward.
you want to take a nap. Yeah, this one I feel good. I feel ready for my day.
Yeah.
Have a nice breakfast and coffee.
And the other thing is too, I know this is real important. Small but important. These tortillas was crisped up a little bit better than the first
Yep.
one. That makes a huge difference.
Makes
I
a huge
noticed.
difference.
Yeah,
Yep,
it
yep.
holds more, I think. It holds the shape more.
That's just also that texture. You know what I mean? You get that light, different crunch from,
Yep,
from
yep.
chips.
It's kind of like toast and bread. It's the same thing, but world's different.
Yeah,
Yeah,
exactly.
Oh, it's just gas.
The jalapeno helps.
It helps a lot. Yep.
Yeah, it's
and that's
not-
what I think the pico de gallo is going to help with the meat one, because the pico de gallo has a little bit of jalapeno in it, and the jalapeno has a nice. Even though we sauteed it down and it's supposed to get a little bit, it softens up a little bit. It still holds a lot of that crunch.
Right.
That really made it, like you said, fresh and made it nice and juicy.
Exactly.
What do you think, Carlos? We call these the Tasty Migas?
Tasty Migas, yeah. I think that's a nice name. I think the flavors are a win. Yeah, I mean, I'm not complaining. That was a good little post work meal.
You guys already heard the little adjustments we're gonna make to it. We already know it's gonna make it crack.
Yep.
You know. But other than that, y'all, the next time y'all see me here, I'm coming in here as an undercover customer.
I want to see it. Yeah.
I'm gonna have like dreadlocks on. Like we can't let Carlos know that I'm over here trying to see how they do the food.
Yeah.
We want to make sure these Tasty Migas is cracking.
Yep.
You know what I mean? What's your thoughts on how long you want to run the special menu item?
Well, I think for this summer, for this special plate, we'll do like a summer special.
Y'all need to come in here, try it, give them their feedback.
Yep.
Because if it's good, they'll transition it over to a secret menu item.
Yep.
And how would that work, Carlos? They would just need to know the name when they come
Yeah,
here.
just know the name.
Tasty Migas.
Tasty Migas. A lot of our dishes, we don't have an official secret menu, but items that we still have the ingredients for, but maybe not enough space on the menu to really kind of keep
Right.
them on there. But for example, we have our the Tasty Migas would be one. We have what do you call it? A mollete right now, similar thing. It's like a open face sandwich. People still come in and then just ask for it. When they ask for it, they're there. Unfortunately, we don't have a secret menu option online, so you do have to come in and and ask for it for any of the stuff that's not on the menu. But that's really the way to go. For the special, we'll definitely have the special and run it online, and then once we decide whether to transition it into something to like permanently have, that's when we'll make that switch. But don't worry about not being able to order online. Again, once we have that special running, we'll have it online and highlighted for folks to have that for them. Yeah.
Y'all, make sure y'all come here, okay? Because this shit gotta be on a secret menu item. I need Migas. We can't get Migas out here in the Bay. You know what I mean? So this is the first spot that's putting it down. So once y'all try it, y'all be sprung just like I got. You know what I mean? So make sure y'all come in, provide your feedback. Hit up my video for this in the comments. Let me know what you think. You know what I mean? So I could always let Carlos and the folks in La Jolla know if it's getting positive feedbacks or not. Don't be hating on me just because you don't like me now.